So there's been a pretty big divide with responses over the last few weeks regarding Reels. On one side of it, people simply just have no interest in doing Reels. They post on social media for their business, but they aren't really interested in putting in any more effort into it. And that is totally fine. There will always be different levels that people want to actually put into this. The entrepreneurs who are at this stage are simply just telling me that they aren't interested in using social media to really broaden their reach. They will grow very slowly with high quality leads, or they are simply just nurturing their current database, which obviously is still very, very important. But then there's the complete other sides of entrepreneurs. The people that want to do Reels, the ones who know the importance of it, they can see it all happening right in front of them. They are just stuck with figuring out what actually to post about. And more times than not, I hear them say that they're just not creative. They don't know what actually to talk about, how to actually put it all together. That's what I want to cover with you today. I'm actually going to give you 15 different Reel ideas that you could implement over the next 15 weeks, 8 weeks, 15 days, whatever rate you want to go at. And yes, I said 15 ideas. I know that's a lot, but I'm going to hammer them out for you. I'm keeping this episode really straight and just right to the point. So get ready to write down some thoughts. Oh, and make sure that you actually save this episode if you need to return to this one a couple months from now and repeat this process. So let's dive right into it. Okay, so episode number 1 or idea number 1 is all about sharing tutorials. So I always tell entrepreneurs to go back to the basics when things just aren't working out. And the basics in this case are tutorials. Now, of course, this idea might not work for everyone, but if you've got a product that's difficult to use or something that's challenging to do that concerns your industry, a short reel that shows people how to accomplish that task quickly could be that special thing that you need. So for example, if you sell leather bags, you can make a reel about how to clean those bags. Or tutorials that I've done on my Instagram is how do you actually do a specific transition in your reel? This sort of content serves two purposes. First off, it spreads awareness that you actually do what you say you can do. And secondly, it tells people that you are an expert and someone who should be trusted. Content like this also are really remarkable because they not only drive engagement from people who are grateful for your help and are learning something new, but they also drive higher conversion rates because you are showcasing competence. And if there's one thing people trust and love, it's competence. So idea number 2 is to show testimonials. So if you keep telling people that you're great at this or that without showing them any social proof, they would most likely take it with a grain of salt. However, if you can show them other people who can confirm your story, they will start believing what you were actually saying. So a fun way to integrate testimonials into Reels is by piecing together videos of different people saying great things about your brand. Now, of course, it's challenging to do this in under 30 seconds or less, but it's not impossible. And at this point, if you don't have a bunch of testimonial videos just laying around, start with one, or even take a screenshot or a video of all of your Google reviews, for example. Idea number 3, this one is actually very straightforward. It's showing behind the scenes. One of the essential things that every single small business and medium-sized business owner must learn is that they have to humanize their brand. This means giving your brand that human touch that many of the biggest brands can't seem to have, no matter how much they try. Turning your behind the scene video into a reel can be a significant step in humanizing your brand. So for example, let's say that you are a photographer and you're editing photos. Take a time-lapse video of you editing all of your photos just sitting at your desk. Idea number 4 is showing people before and after reels. Now, I feel like a lot of people think this idea only works for stylists or makeup artists or personal trainers, even let's say decorators the most, but it doesn't have to just be for those physical transformations. Showing a before and after of how you made your client feel, or a before and after of you making a recipe. Maybe you show all the ingredients first, and then after you show the actual baked good. Or let's say your business is very result driven and number focused. Let's say you show how you were able to help your clients go from $10,000 in their bank account to $100,000 in their bank account with your investments. As long as you are going from point A, which typically is the starting point, to point B, which is usually where you would achieve some sort of outcome, these all will work. It's just a matter of actually just thinking outside of the box. Okay, so next up, number 5. So idea number 5, this idea is very straightforward again. You can share motivational messages. As far as I can tell, reels like this are top rated because people love being inspired. So if you're looking for a high volume of engagement, you should look into making motivational reels. But before you dive into making that reel, I want you to actually go just scroll through your Explorer page. There are a lot of voiceovers from incredibly motivational speakers like Ed Milet that you can use. All you have to do is simply add a video of you walking outside or working out or playing with your kids or whatever the video could be of. That's a motivational message with a massive focus on you and your brand. Number 6 is start introducing yourself. Remember, so many people who will see your reels will be people who haven't met you before. This is even more important if your reels get really popular. One way to make sure that people see you and immediately know who you are is to create a reel actually introducing yourself. So this introduction must include things like what you do, what's important to you, and how you can help the people watching. It's not just an introduction for the sake of introducing yourself. It's an introduction with a specific purpose. And to make these ones even more fun, make them fun. Just be you, be yourself, have fun with it. Just showcase who you are as that person. Now, on to the other side of that one, number 7, introduces your team. So just like the idea before this one, this reel mostly takes advantage of the fact that your reel is going to be seen by so many people who don't know you yet. If you've got a team, it would be really nice to introduce them to the new audience that you are looking to capture. So start with their names and then work your way down to what they do for you, how they can help your business meet the needs of your audience. Now, of course, all this has to be under 60 seconds. So pick and choose how you want to introduce your team. You should also make another kind of reel, which is idea number 8, by the way, if you're taking notes. It is a reel that offers tips that the kind of people you want to attract can actually use. I'm sure you already have your avatar of your ideal client or the buyer persona that you want to attract. So use these personas or use these ideas to develop the kind of tips that your audience would want to see and want to learn. And then make a reel sharing those exact tips. Maybe it shows them how to make sourdough bread or how to run a social media ad. Whatever your audience wants to learn, you can share those tidbits in your reel. Okay, so next one. So I know you'll agree with this one. No matter what industry you are in, there are always frequently asked questions. That is, regular people asking questions about working with you or something within your industry. Try to make a reel answering those questions, just as you would if someone asked you that question in person. Now, if you can't think of anything right off the bat, what I want you to do is actually just start paying closer attention to the emails that you get, the conversations that you have, even the messages that you get from your current clients. What are they asking? Show that in a reel. Answer that in a reel. Now, idea number 10 allows you to get a bit humorous and creative. This one is all about reality versus expectations. To make a video like this, all you've got to do is think of people's misguided expectations of your industry. So for example, do people underestimate how much you work? You could start off a reel by showing you, let's say, lounging by the pool, just living your life. And then you can show you working late at night on your computer, hustling to get something done as entrepreneurs do. Or do people expect working with puppies is all about playing tug-of-war and getting cute kisses versus cleaning up dog crap? You see what I mean? Have fun with this one. Just be creative, just be outside the box, but keep in mind, you want to keep these ones relatively short. Okay, so number 11. This tip is open-ended and it means you should do whatever you can think of to entertain your ideal prospects. Number 11, entertain. Now, of course, whatever you do choose to do, whatever way you do something, just make sure it's brand aligned. For example, you don't want to be showing up dancing to a raunchy song if you're a family-centered brand. Yes, you may get that engagement, but the clients who you want to attract will understandably avoid you. One that I've done, for example, is a fitness push-up challenge reel that has nothing to do with social media and automation techniques. Or an overview reel of a trip where I just went out hiking the mountains out west. Show your life, show your personality with these ones, okay? Now let's go on to number 12. So this one is more for those who work with physical tools or even online tools or programs. The idea here is to show the tools that you use in your business and how you actually use them. Sure, we could be showing the 3 tools you need to grout your kitchen, or one that I've done is the 3 tools that I use to show up online. So for example, my laptop, my AirPods, and my ring light. In this case, a tool is something you use in your business that someone who's just starting out would actually need. My biggest tip here is to keep this one simple. People don't really want to know all the bells and whistles. They want to know it's what helps you stay organized, not that it can do 175 different functions. I know they may sound interesting to you, but they can be super, super dull to the average Joe. So just stick to the key facts and keep it short, keep it simple. Now, idea 13 is all about the trends. So most people tell you not to follow trends, usually in business, right? But with Reels, that's completely different. Follow the trends. You don't need to stand out from the crowd. If it's a trendy music or a trendy dance, whatever it is, jump on that trend. People find them very, very entertaining. And the more entertaining your Reels are, the more eyeballs you will get on them. And when you get more eyeballs on it, it's just that snowball effect from there. So next up, this one is number 14, by the way. If you run a business, I'm sure you have a process that you follow in some way, shape, or form. If you don't, I think you need to go back and look at the foundation of your business. If you don't have systems and processes set up in your business will never survive growth or the bus test. Not to be a downer or anything like that, but would your business survive if you were hit by a bus tomorrow? Knock on wood, you don't. It would if you had systems and processes to follow. When you have those systems and you have those processes, the next thing to do is to share it in a reel. So for example, one that I can do is show my process of how I create reels. First, I come up with my intention, then my hook, my value, and my call to action. Then I write my caption, I create my cover photo, I shoot the video, I edit the video, and then I share the video. That's a process. And really, by showing your process, you are actually doing 2 things. One, it tells people that you're an expert at what you do. And if your process is technical enough, it shows people why you charge the prices that you do. I'm not generally talking about justifying pricing to people, but reels like this are a great reference point for clients who think your craft isn't worth what you think it's worth. And lastly, you can tell people or show people how they can expect your work to turn out. All this involves is telling them what people can expect to happen after they've worked with you. Remember the transformation where you took someone from struggling with something to achieving that end goal? With these ones, show that end goal. So if you are a hairstylist, showing the after photo shows your work's quality. Pretty cool, right? So there we have it. We have 15 different ideas to kick off your reel game. These aren't the only ideas out there too, by the way. These are just 15 to get things rolling for you. That's the thing with reels. It keeps us creative, and I love that aspect. So out of those 15, which one stuck out the most to you? I want you to write that one down and commit to posting that this week, okay? Can you promise me that? Actually, even better, what I want you to do is tag me in it. I would love to see it. But that's all I have for you today. I gave you 15 different ideas. So if you learned something new today, do me a favor. Like this episode, share it with those who might need it. And finally, subscribe for more content like this and be a part of this incredible entrepreneur community that we are building here today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I'll see you next week. Bye for now.